Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, we've talked about the brand new ATS Coupe that made its official debut at the Detroit Motor Show. Well, we're already looking forward to the new V version, the ATS-V, which is the exciting version. At least it's like the M version of the BMW brand or the AMG version of Mercedes-Benz. Now, what we're hearing right now that the ATS-V will get a 3.6 liter twin turbocharged V6, putting out 425 brake horsepower. But there's also a little rumor floating about that there could be an ATS-V Plus that could come with a normally aspirated V8, putting out north of 500 brake horsepower. We'll keep you in tune on what comes of this in the future. I cannot wait to hear more about this. Next up on the list, well, the folks over at Nissan showed these two, the IDX concepts, off at the Tokyo Motor Show last year, in the year of 2013. They also showed them off in 2014 at the Detroit Motor Show, and have heard little conflicting rumors on whether this is confirmed or not, but apparently these vehicles could be very, very close to a new Z lineup. Now, don't worry if you're a 370Z fan. That vehicle will remain the same, including a upcoming update version for the 370Z. This is going to be one just underneath the 370, and this new Z model will be going head-to-head with Toyota's GT86, Subaru's BRZ, and Scion's FRS. It's going to have a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, and it's going to be rear-wheel drive, mated up with a 6-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual. Cannot wait to hear more about this, especially this one in this old Nissan livery, which I just think is an absolutely stunning looking machine. A little bit smaller, it's going to be an interesting little car. Cannot wait to see more about this from the folks over at Nissan. Next up on the list, well, we've talked about the brand new Chevrolet Z06. But we got some new technical junk, and if you don't mind, I'm going to geek out a little bit on this particular deal. That new 8-speed automatic transmission that they're building, that hydraulic transmission, the folks over at Motor Authority let out some details on this thing, and it is pretty doggone slick. You think some of the folks over in Silicon Valley and some of the folks that deal with computers and mobile phones are pretty high-tech. Boy, they got nothing on the automobile industry, as the automobile industry spends more in R&D every year than those companies ever dream of. Listen to what this transmission does. Not only does this vehicle have cylinder deactivation, where this thing could run on just 4 cylinders, apparently the transmission will kick in as well. It's got 2 hydraulic pumps on it, which supposedly makes this transmission shift so seamless through those 8 speeds and will outperform the benchmark they had for this brand new transmission, which was the PDK gearbox that's in Porsches, regarded as one of the greatest transmissions of all time. So this must be a pretty good transmission. Now, this particular unit is supposedly smaller and lighter than the outgoing automatic transmission, and it really packs a punch. Like I said, those dual pumps running when you're flipping up and down through the gears to make really, really quick shifts in it, and the multi-clutch system. But one of those pumps deactivates when it's down in cylinder deactivation mode and releases a lot of the drag on the transmission. You know, if you're in a lower gear and you let off the throttle, the car kind of bogs down a little bit as the gears drag the vehicle, slow it down, if you will. Apparently it won't happen with this transmission. It'll allow it to freewheel just a tad bit, a little bit more, to free up some of those MPGs. We're talking about that this vehicle could have, for supercar type performance, world-class MPGs. So it's going to be a pretty exciting piece of kit, and apparently this transmission can go into any rear-wheel drive platform that General Motors builds. Maybe that new SS, maybe the old, I guess call it the old Stingray that is now, could get this new transmission coming very soon in a mid-cycle refresh. Cannot wait to hear more about this little deal. Next up on the list, well, the Subaru STI took off its official wraps at the Detroit Motor Show. We didn't really talk about it, mainly because it's more of the same. The vehicle does have an all-new 2.5-liter boxer 4-cylinder that is turbocharged, putting out 305 brake horsepower and 290 pounds-feet of torque. And if that sounds familiar, it's pretty much the same displacement and power output that it's put out since '08, so it's not super, super exciting. does have some new tricks up its sleeve. An active torque vectoring system is in on the vehicle, not to mention a multi-mode driver-controlled center differential. Thinking maybe much like the old system in the Mitsubishi Evolution, where it may have a snow, gravel, and tarmac settings. And it will have Brembos on all four corners, which nothing wrong with that as well. There's also going to be 1,000 of the first vehicles will come out in a launch edition. For the launch of the brand new automobile, there's going to be 1,000 specially badged. They're going to be limited edition to only that 1,000 units, and we'll hopefully have official pricing coming very, very soon. Also released from Subaru, they're going to get back an old friend. Travis Pastrana will be teaming up with David Higgins to race for Subaru's U.S. Rally team in the Rally America Series. It's a triumphant return for Mr. Pastrana, who took a little time off to race for the Chrysler Corporation over the past several years, but he'll be back with Subaru in the Rally America Series. And last up on the list, well, an update on the condition of Formula One race car driver Michael Schumacher, the 7-time world champion, has been upgraded from critical but stable condition to just stable condition, which sounds very, very good. But the folks over at Sports Illustrated online actually talked to a brain expert who said that quite possibly Mr. Schumacher, the person that we may know and love, the fierce competitor, the kind of goofball type guy, pretty interesting fellow, may have sadly died on December 29th, that fellow may be gone forever, that if Schumacher does wake up out of this medically induced coma, that Michael Schumacher may be gone forever, that he may be totally different than he ever was. Now, that being said, remember the big brain injury that Richard Hammond, one of the hosts of the UK's version of Top Gear, he actually recovered from a brain injury and came out pretty much all right, other than he likes celery now, which he didn't like before, but we're all praying for Mr. Michael Schumacher here, the folks over here at Motor Cars are, and we hope for him to be able to come out of this and come out of it free and clean, especially for his wife and kids, the terrible situation they've been going through. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.